Why people thought the Earth was flat. For centuries, many people believed the Earth was flat, imagining the world as a giant disk surrounded by endless oceans and mystery. Sailors feared falling off the edge, and early maps reflected a world full of unknown dangers. But why did so many civilizations hold this belief? The answer lies in human observation, limited technology, religion, and the slow development of science. The Earth looks flat. One of the strongest reasons early humans assumed a flat Earth was simple appearance. From ground level, the world seems completely level. People traveled across plains, deserts, and coastlines without ever noticing any visible curve. The horizon looks like a straight boundary where the land meets the sky, reinforcing the idea of a flat world. Without modern tools like satellites, aircraft, or space exploration, ancient observers relied entirely on what their eyes could see. From that perspective, the Earth appeared like an extended, stable surface with the sky arching above it, since direct evidence of curvature was impossible to observe in daily life. The flat interpretation felt natural. Travel was also extremely limited in early civilizations. Most individuals never journeyed far from their birthplace, so they had little reason or opportunity to question what lay beyond familiar territory. Even those who sailed long distances could only observe a seemingly endless ocean, not the planet's true shape. Another factor was scale. The Earth is so large that its curvature is extremely subtle at ground level. Because of this, even today the surface looks flat in everyday experience. Without scientific explanation, natural phenomena like ships disappearing gradually over the horizon were difficult to interpret correctly. Eventually, careful observation by thinkers such as Aristotle and other early scholars provided clues that the Earth was not flat. Over time, scientific investigation and exploration confirmed that the planet is actually spherical. Limited scientific knowledge. A major reason the flat Earth idea persisted was the absence of advanced scientific understanding. Ancient societies did not have instruments or methods to accurately study the planet on a global scale. Most conclusions were drawn from everyday experience rather than systematic evidence. Before the invention of technologies such as telescopes, satellites, or spaceflight, people had no way to view Earth from above. Without knowledge of astronomy, gravity, or planetary motion, it was difficult to imagine a world shaped like a sphere suspended in space. Information was also passed down through tradition, storytelling, and authority figures rather than experimentation. Elders, rulers, and religious leaders often shaped how people understood the world. Since there was no formal scientific method in place, many ideas remained unchallenged for centuries. Early maps reflected these limitations as well. Cartographers could only draw based on known regions, giving the impression of a small, flat world surrounded by unknown edges. Because most people never traveled far, these maps reinforced what seemed like a realistic model of the Earth. Despite this, a few early thinkers began to question common beliefs. Philosophers such as Pythagoras and Aristotle used observation and reasoning to argue that the Earth was round, pointing to evidence like curved shadows during lunar eclipses. As scientific methods improved over time, exploration and astronomy gradually replaced speculation, eventually confirming Earth's spherical shape. Religious and mythological beliefs. Religious and mythological traditions also influenced early ideas about a flat Earth. Before scientific explanations existed, people used spiritual stories and myths to understand natural events such as storms, eclipses, and the changing sky. Many ancient cultures described the Earth as a flat land beneath a dome-like sky. In these stories, the sun, moon, and stars often moved across the sky as part of a structured cosmic system. Other traditions imagined the world supported by enormous creatures, pillars, or surrounded by vast waters. These beliefs were not only explanations, but also part of cultural identity. They helped people make sense of the unknown and provided meaning in a world that often felt unpredictable. Religious authorities were highly respected, and their teachings strongly shaped how people understood reality. Since literacy was limited and scientific testing did not exist, many individuals accepted these teachings without question. However, intellectual traditions did evolve. Thinkers such as Aristotle and later scholars began to combine observation with reasoning, gradually separating symbolic beliefs from physical explanations of the Earth. Over time, advancements in astronomy and exploration helped societies revise earlier interpretations, eventually replacing flat Earth models with a spherical understanding. Fear of the unknown, fear and uncertainty about unexplored regions, also contributed to the belief in a flat Earth. In ancient times, most of the world was uncharted, and travel beyond familiar territory was rare and dangerous. As a result, imagination often filled the gaps in human knowledge. Oceans in particular inspired both awe and fear. Early sailors dealt with storms, strong winds, and navigation challenges without reliable maps or instruments. Many voyages ended in loss or confusion, leading to exaggerated stories about sea monsters, endless waters, and dangerous edges of the world. Because the horizon always appears distant and unclear, it was easy to imagine it as a boundary or literal edge, without evidence to the contrary. Some people believed that traveling too far might lead to falling off the world or entering unknown realms. These fears were strengthened by storytelling and cultural myths, which often depicted the edges of the world as mysterious or dangerous places. Such ideas made the flat Earth concept feel believable in a world where much remained unexplored. As exploration expanded and navigation improved, these fears gradually faded. Greater understanding of geography and astronomy replaced speculation with evidence, revealing a continuous, spherical planet rather than a finite flat surface. If you want, I can also shorten this into a school essay version, or turn it into a presentation outline. These fears were strengthened by myths and legends passed down through generations. In many cultures, the unknown parts of the world were described as dangerous and supernatural. Ancient maps sometimes included drawings of monsters in unexplored seas with warnings about the dangers beyond known territory. Such stories made people cautious about exploration and reinforced the belief that the Earth had boundaries or edges. Another reason fear influenced beliefs was the lack of scientific explanations for natural events. Storms, eclipses, earthquakes, and strange weather patterns often frightened people because they did not understand what caused them. Without science to explain these events, many believed they were signs of angry gods or supernatural forces. The unknown became something to fear rather than investigate. Exploration during ancient times required great courage. Travelers and sailors risked starvation, shipwrecks, disease, and attacks from enemies. Since communication between distant places was limited, stories about dangerous journeys often became exaggerated over time. Fear made many people prefer familiar beliefs instead of questioning traditional ideas about the Earth. Despite these fears, some explorers and thinkers continued searching for answers. Adventurers traveled farther across oceans and discovered new lands, slowly proving that the world was much larger than people once imagined. Explorers such as Ferdinand Magellan helped demonstrate that the Earth could be circled through long sea voyages. Earlier, educated Europeans already understood that the Earth was round, and exploration helped confirm its size and geography rather than its shape. Fear of the unknown is a natural human emotion, especially when people lack knowledge or experience. In ancient times, this fear influenced how people viewed the world and contributed to the flat Earth belief. However, as exploration and science advanced, curiosity slowly replaced fear. Humanity learned that discovering the unknown leads to greater understanding and progress. Early maps and traditions played a major role in shaping the belief that the Earth was flat. In ancient times, people created maps based only on the places they had explored or heard about from travelers. Since most civilizations knew very little about distant lands and oceans, early maps often showed the world as a flat surface, surrounded by water or empty space. These maps reflected human understanding at the time and strongly influenced how people imagined the Earth. Map-making in ancient civilizations was very limited compared to modern geography. Without satellites, airplanes, or advanced navigation tools, map-makers could only draw nearby regions with any accuracy. Large parts of the world were unknown, so many maps included blank areas, mythical lands, or warnings about dangerous places. Because these maps were flat drawings, Many people assumed the Earth itself was flat as well. Traditions also help spread and preserve this belief. In many societies, knowledge was passed down through generations by storytelling, religion, and teaching. Children learned about the world from parents, elders, and religious leaders, and these ideas became accepted as truth over time. Since traditions were deeply connected to culture and identity, people rarely questioned them. Ancient travelers and sailors also contributed to traditional beliefs about the Earth. Most journeys were short, because travel was difficult and dangerous. Since few people traveled great distances, there was little evidence to challenge the idea of a flat world. Stories about unexplored regions often became exaggerated, adding mystery and fear to unknown areas shown on maps. Many early maps focused more on religious or symbolic meaning than scientific accuracy. Some maps placed certain cities or kingdoms at the center of the world because they were considered culturally or spiritually important. These maps reflected beliefs and traditions rather than geographical facts. As a result, they reinforced existing ideas about the Earth's shape and structure. Over time, exploration and scientific discoveries began improving map accuracy. Ancient Greek scholars such as Eratosthenes used mathematics and observations to estimate the Earth's circumference, providing evidence that the planet was round. Later explorers created more detailed maps after traveling across oceans and discovering new continents. These advances slowly changed people's understanding of the world. Even though early maps were often inaccurate, they were important achievements for their time. They helped people navigate, trade, and record knowledge about the world around them. The traditions connected to these maps also reveal how humans tried to explain the unknown using the information available to them. The influence of early maps and traditions on the flat Earth belief shows how strongly culture and inherited ideas shape human understanding. As exploration, science, and education improved, people gradually replaced old traditions with evidence-based knowledge about the Earth and the universe. The discovery that changed everything. The discovery that the Earth is round completely changed humanity's understanding of the world. For centuries, many people believed the Earth was flat because of limited knowledge, religious traditions, and simple observation. However, as science, exploration, and astronomy advanced, evidence slowly proved that the Earth was actually a sphere. This discovery transformed geography, navigation, and the way people viewed the universe. One of the earliest groups to suggest that the Earth was round were the ancient Greeks. Philosophers such as Pythagoras believed the Earth had a spherical shape because spheres were considered perfect forms in nature. Later, Aristotle provided important evidence supporting this idea. He observed that during lunar eclipses, the Earth cast a curved shadow on the moon. He also noticed that travelers could see different stars in different regions of the world, which suggested the Earth was curved. Another important discovery came from Eratosthenes, who calculated the Earth's circumference more than 2,000 years ago. By studying shadows in different cities, he estimated the size of the planet with remarkable accuracy. His work showed that mathematics and observation could be used to understand the Earth scientifically. Centuries later, exploration played a major role in proving the Earth's shape. Sailors traveling long distances noticed that ships disappeared gradually over the horizon instead of vanishing all at once. Explorers also discovered new lands across oceans, showing that the world was much larger than previously believed. One of the most important moments in history came during the voyage led by Ferdinand Magellan in the 1500s. Although Magellan died before the journey ended, his crew successfully sailed around the world. This voyage provided strong proof that the Earth could be circled, confirming that it was round and not flat. Later scientific discoveries strengthened this understanding even more. Astronomers studied planets and stars using telescopes, while scientists developed better navigation systems and maps. In the 20th century, space exploration provided undeniable proof of the Earth's shape. Photographs taken from space showed the Earth as a beautiful blue sphere floating in space. The discovery that the Earth is round changed human history forever. It encouraged exploration, improved trade and navigation, and expanded scientific knowledge about the universe. Most importantly, it showed the value of observation, evidence, and curiosity. Humanity learned that long-held beliefs can change when new discoveries reveal the truth. The belief that the earth was flat was shaped by human observation, limited scientific knowledge, religious traditions, fear of the unknown, and early maps. In ancient times, these ideas seemed reasonable because people did not have the tools or technology needed to study the planet accurately. Most individuals trusted what they could see with their own eyes and accepted the teachings passed down through generations. As time passed, philosophers, scientists, and explorers began questioning old beliefs and searching for evidence about the world. Through careful observation, mathematics, and exploration, they discovered that the earth is round. Important figures such as Aristotle, Eratosthenes, and Ferdinand Magellan helped expand human understanding and change the way people viewed the earth. Today, modern science and space exploration clearly prove that the earth is a sphere. The story of the flat earth belief reminds us that human knowledge continues to grow over time. It also teaches the importance of curiosity, learning, and using evidence to understand the world around us.